Hey everyone, welcome back.
Hi, everyone.
So are you ready to take a deep dive?
Always ready. What are we diving into today?
Well, you all sent in a ton of requests about inflammation.
Ah, yes. Hot topic.
Yeah, seems like everyone's trying to tame the flame these days.
Love that. Taming the flame. We should use that.
Definitely. So we've got this awesome guide here all about making anti-inflammatory dietary choices.
Sounds comprehensive.
It is. And what's really cool is a lot of you mentioned joint pain specifically.
Right, so how food can help with that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So I thought maybe we could focus on that angle as we kind of go through this guide.
absolutely. Because, chronic inflammation, it's linked to so many things.
Oh, yeah.
Heart disease, diabetes, arthritis. But before we get too far, let's just back up for a sec.
Okay.
What exactly is inflammation? Because it's often made out to be like this big, bad thing.
Yeah, it does get a bad rap.
But actually, it's a crucial part of our body's healing process.
Right. It's like our body's defense system, When we get injured or sick, inflammation is how our body fights back.
Exactly. It helps us repair damage. The problem is when that inflammatory response just doesn't quit.
It goes into overdrive.
Yeah, it becomes chronic.
Yeah.
And that's when it starts causing issues.
It's like that fire alarm that just won't shut off, right?
Perfect analogy. It's exhausting. And it wears down the body, and that's where, those chronic conditions come in, like arthritis.
Right. So where does food fit into all of this?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Some foods can actually make inflammation worse.
Fan the flames.
Exactly. While others can help cool things down.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
This guide really stresses, eating the rainbow, which on the surface sounds pretty simple.
Yeah, eat your fruits and veggies. We've all heard that.
Right. But there's actually some pretty cool science behind it.
Oh, I'm sure there is. I mean, like berries, for instance. Those are at the top of the list.
Always a good choice.
And I know they're packed with antioxidants. But what are those actually doing in our bodies?
So antioxidants are like these tiny warriors.
Fighting the good fight?
Yes. They fight off free radicals, which are these unstable molecules that can damage our cells and, you guessed it, trigger inflammation.
Uh-huh. The troublemakers.
Exactly. Think of free radicals as little sparks that can start a fire, and antioxidants are like the firefighters.
Okay, I love that. A visual I can get behind.
Right. So berries, with all those vibrant colors, they're loaded with these firefighter antioxidants.
Makes you want to grab a handful right now.
I know, right? And it's not just berries. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, those are powerhouses too, packed with vitamins and minerals.
Our moms were right.
Always. They support our immune system, help regulate inflammation. And then you've got cruciferous veggies.
Like broccoli and cauliflower.
Yeah, they've got these special compounds that actually help our bodies detoxify.
Wow. Detoxify and reduce inflammation.
It's a win-win.
All right, well, I got to ask about the fats. This guide talks a lot about healthy fats.
That's a good point, because for a long time we were told all fat was bad.
Oh, I remember those days.
Right. But now we know better. It's all about the type of fat. Omega-3 fatty acids, for example.
Ah, omega-3s.
Yes. You find those in fatty fish, like salmon, mackerel.
Okay.
Also, plant sources like flax seeds, walnuts.
So how do they actually help with inflammation?
Well, they've been shown to have a pretty direct impact on reducing it. I mean, I read this fascinating article.
Oh, tell me.
Yeah, it talked about how omega-3s can actually change the composition of our cell membranes.
Really?
Yeah, making them more flexible, less prone to inflammation.
So it's like building a stronger defense from within.
Exactly. And they also help balance out the effects of omega-6s.
Which are? Remind me.
They're also essential fatty acids, but often found in processed foods. And when we get too much...
That's when we see more inflammation.
Exactly. So it's all about finding that balance.
Balance.
Yeah.
Such a key theme.
It really is, in all aspects of health, really.
Okay, so we've got the colorful produce, healthy fats. This guide also talks about whole grains over refined grains.
Yeah, another crucial swap.
So what's the difference there in terms of inflammation?
Well, think about white bread, white rice. They've been stripped of their fiber and nutrients.
Oh yeah, processed.
Exactly. And that can lead to those blood sugar spikes, which, trigger an inflammatory response.
So it's a cascade effect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But whole grains, they're digested more slowly.
So more sustained energy.
Yes. And they help keep inflammation in check.
It's like choosing a slow-burning log for your campfire, right?
Yeah.
Instead of throwing on kindling that just flares up and burns out.
Love that. Such a great way to think about it. And those quick burning foods, they often leave us feeling hungry and craving more, which can lead to overeating and
What?
more inflammation.
Exactly. So we're seeing how all these choices really connect, right?
Totally. It's all about making those swaps, those smart choices. Yes. And one thing that really stood out to me in the guide was the importance of hydration.
Just drinking water.
It seems so basic, right?
It does.
But staying well hydrated actually helps flush out toxins, waste products.
Which can contribute to inflammation if they build up.
Exactly. It's like giving your body a nice internal cleanse.
I like that. I'm definitely guilty of not drinking enough water
Me
sometimes.
too. It's a constant effort, right?
It is. Oh, and the guide also mentions how we eat, not just what we eat.
Mindful eating. Such an important piece of the puzzle.
I've been trying to be more mindful, but it's hard.
Oh, it definitely takes practice. But slowing down, really savoring each bite,
Yeah.
paying attention to our body's signals. Like, am I actually hungry or am I just eating out of habit?
But that's such a good point.
Right. It can make such a difference. Helps us absorb nutrients more effectively, can even reduce stress, which we know is another factor in inflammation.
Okay, that's a good reminder.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I just scarf down my food without even thinking.
We've all been there. And, one of my favorite things about this guide is how much it encourages getting creative in the kitchen.
Yes. Cooking at home.
It really empowers you to take control. You choose the ingredients, experiment with flavors.
Plus, it can be fun.
Exactly. And speaking of delicious, this guide even includes a sample meal plan. Imagine, starting your day with Greek yogurt,
Okay, I'm listening.
topped with fresh berries, a little sprinkle of cheese seeds.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I'm already hungry.
Right. And for lunch, a vibrant quinoa salad, crunchy veggies, maybe a zesty lemon tahini dressing.
Oh my gosh, keep going.
And for dinner, baked salmon with roasted sweet potatoes and some steamed broccoli.
This all sounds so good, A&D, easy to actually make.
That's the goal, right? It has to be sustainable.
Exactly. Oh, before we forget, the guide mentioned supplements.
Mm,
Specifically, omega-3s, turmeric, and ginger.
right. And I think it's important to emphasize that while supplements can be helpful,
They're not a magic bullet.
exactly, they should never be a substitute for a healthy diet. And it's always best to chat with your doctor before starting anything new.
Especially if you have, any underlying health condition.
For sure.
So, after this deep dive, I feel so much more informed. But if you had to pick just one thing to focus on, what would it be?
That's a tough one. But honestly, I think the most impactful change is crowding out processed foods
Just get rid of them as much as possible.
as much as possible and replace them with whole, unprocessed options.
So it's not about, depriving yourself.
No, not at all. It's about nourishing your body, feeling your best.
I love that. It's all about making sustainable changes that you can actually enjoy and stick with. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been a pleasure exploring this topic with you. Until next time.
Take care, everyone.
See ya.